Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your next Q&A for this week, leading up to The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 12, Say Yes. First question for this one is going to be, do we think Rick will propose to Michonne? And this question came from Kyle Walsh in the predictions video, and some others too. You know, I know a few of you guys have brought this up because it's a pretty good idea. And he said, Trev, long shot, but what if Rick proposed to Michonne in this episode and he just says, say yes, hence the title. LOL, been around since season 2, love the channel. So thanks, Kyle, thanks for your years of support. I remember your name, so very cool. And all of those of you who added the same kind of comment, this is for you guys. We'll start with this one. I think it's a really good question. Of course, Jadis did say to Rick, tell him to say yes. And it worked to get the 50-50 deal. So it worked out for the junkyard people. So maybe Rick would try now. I would really like to see that. I think that would be a really great scene. And if you look at the sneak peeks and you look at the promos, they seem to be regularly happy. You know, when you have Rick and Michonne, they're kind of out there on their own and, you know, looking for supplies and that. So I think that'd be really cool for them to do that. I think that would be a really good touch for sure. And you're right, it would make the title of the episode make perfect sense. So I'm definitely going to be looking for that, and we'll hope to see that, because I think it'd be good if you think about it in terms of like the zombie apocalypse and what they have going on right now. If he doesn't do it now, he may not get another chance. So for him, I think that'd be really good, and also for morale and that. So I think they should do that. That'd be really good for the episode. So I would really like to see it, and I think you might be right. Say yes could also be referring to that, not just what Jadis had said with wanting half of the supplies and guns being there soon and everything. So great call out, and I think you're right. I think we will see that, and maybe in the next couple seasons see them do like a wedding or something. That'd be nice. I think everybody would like to see that. So Mr. S.T.R. says this episode was unwatchable. Somebody put a gun to my head and said they'd shoot me in my effing face if I didn't describe the plot. I told them to just shoot me. AMC needs to get their act together. So raging. They've lost a lot of viewers. Blah blah blah. Okay, so the episode. So this episode, there was a lot of people that really did like the episode, and a lot of people were upset at the score that I gave it. But there was a lot of people too that didn't like the episode so much, and think that it's kind of a filler episode. So I mean, for me, one of the reasons why I did rank it lower than usual is because we're almost through the season. We don't have that much time left. We only have 5 episodes left. For this year, so to speak, for Walking Dead. And I did feel like they filled out the first half quite a bit too. So I'm kind of feeling like right now, we gotta pick up the pace a little bit. So I don't know if everything that was in that episode was absolutely necessary. That's the reason why I was a little bit like, because we'd already spent some time with Dwight. We got an idea of who he was already, and I don't know if we needed to see more of that. It kind of is sort of like more of the same, right? So, I don't know, but some people loved it, some people didn't like it. Here's a good one from it. MH1231 says, hey, you want to get burned by molten metal? Because that is how you get burned by molten metal. That was funny. And I do like Eugene's new kind of gear and stuff, and, get up and kind of his new attitude and everything, that he's going to be this badass savior at the sanctuary and everything. It's pretty funny. And I did like some of the lines in the episode. That's very true. There are some pretty funny lines in the episode, and it's got some good comedy in it from Eugene, for sure. Pichu RS says, this episode didn't work for me either. I actually found it boring most of the time. Also, I'm tired of the series' overall pacing. It seems like we go further a little bit, but then we come back in time. This retrospect thing really makes me feel like the story is stuck and doesn't advance fast enough. And, it's a good point, that because we're seeing all these different communities and that, and we're kind of jumping around to different parts and getting to see the story play through from different angles and different locations and that with bottle-type episodes. It does bog it down a little bit, I do have to admit. I think it does bog it down a little bit. But, I mean, there's things that I do like to see. I do like to see Negan, and getting to spend a little bit more time at the Sanctuary was pretty cool. I just don't know if it warrants an entire slot for an episode. But, it makes sense for them to do it, I guess, with costs and all that, and, being able to keep costs down by focusing on one location per episode. Joel Dang says, hey, Trev, do you think Sherry's at the Kingdom, or is at least going to the Kingdom? So, as we mentioned in the video yesterday, we did a video giving our thoughts on that, what we think Sherry's going to do. She's got to, if you think about it, she's got to get connected with these survivors in some way, and hopefully join them. I'd like to see her be a totally different character than she was in the comics. It worked out for Carol really well. well, and I'd like to see them do that with Sherry and just have her be totally different from the comic version. That'd be good. Carrie Surratt says, this episode was excellent, one of the best ever. What are you smoking? When Eugene says he's Stone Cold Negan is the best. Everybody's got different tastes. If you like comedy, maybe this is one of your favorite episodes. Of course, we had a couple comedy episodes in the first half as well, too, with Negan and some really funny stuff. So everyone's got their own tastes. So, for one person to say, well, the episode sucked or the episode was amazing or whatever, it's pretty tough to say. I mean, it's totally a subjective thing on what your tastes are and what you like. And The Walking Dead hits on a lot of different points. It's not just simply a drama. There's a lot of action in it. There's some comedy this season, which is different from before. There's a lot of horror, especially with the Terminus and Summon to Fear. The season 7 premiere is very horror, focused. So The Walking Dead does a really good job of being a diverse world. It isn't just simply one genre, I would say. It has elements of a lot of different genres, and how you want to see it is up to you. Ted Bayless says, who thinks Eugene has flipped? I mean, aside from seeing Glenn and Abraham being killed, he should feel as if he would belong with the Saviors. So who thinks he is actually? So I think what Ted is getting to here is, do you think he actually is still like a survivor? Given the opportunity, will Eugene help out Rick and the others? Or will he, because of fear, listen to Negan and go with Negan? I kind of feel like he sort of has flipped a bit. I'd like to see, given the opportunity, which side he would go with. I think it makes sense either way for them to go in this situation with Eugene. You could say that because he's cowardly and because Negan is so fearsome and what he saw with the doctor and everything like that and Glenn and Abraham, that he won't dare cross him because, even if Negan was to lose, it's not like Rick would throw him in a furnace or something. Rick would be angry at him for flipping and maybe throw him in a jail cell at worst. But which side is he going to go with? Is he going to go with love because he spent more time with, those survivors on the road? Or is he going to go with fear and listen to Negan if given the opportunity? So I'll have to see how that plays out. I think it could go either way. I'd like to see him kind of do the less cowardly thing and go with the group that he spent more time with and that he cares more for. But then again, at the same time, he does really seem like he's, drinking the Kool-Aid for the Savers for sure. Jordan Vance says, hey, Trev Q&A, what's the best form of government in a zombie apocalypse? A democracy, a monarchy, an oligarchy? I would love to hear your thoughts. Keep up the great work. So he wants to combine politics with Walking Dead. I think it's what's the best form of government? I mean, I think everybody likes democracy, right? Of course, most major countries in the world are democratic systems. Being able to vote for a leader in that, but is it the best? Like, is it something that would work the best? Maybe not in a zombie apocalypse. Maybe you want to go with, you have like a dictator like Negan and, him being so fearsome, keeping everybody in line. I think it depends on the size of the group. If you get a huge community that gets to be humongous, then you might want to go for a democracy. But if it's smaller, then, it's hard to say. I think any of them can work. I don't think there's to say that there's only one right way to go with a group, and that if a group is a democratic group or is democracy, then they're going to defeat others if it comes to war and things like that. I don't think it's that simple to say. I don't know if that's everything to it. I think different forms could work, and which one is the best is kind of which one you make the best of it. I don't think just based on one system is going to necessarily outdo the others 100%. I think it depends. William Purdy says, I really hate this new way they have been structuring episodes. Mix them up, seeing one location, all episode gets boring. Then it could be weeks before returning to the same characters. Bullshit AMC. That's from Will Purdy. So kind of a way to delay all-out war, I think is what he's kind of getting at here. And that is true that for people that don't read the comics, they don't really know about that or anything. They just kind of, they know something's coming and it's going to be big, but it's building up and it's taking a while. So, I mean, it depends kind of on what direction they're going with the show. Right now, the show feels to be more like a drama-based series. However, there are seasons like Season 3, which is very action-based. I'd even say Season 6 is very action-oriented too. So it depends on what you like best. Different people like different things better. Drama is always fantastic. I always love drama. But it's really cool to see the action too, and the war and the fighting back and forth and all that is really exciting as well. And then some people really like the horror, like for example Terminus or the Season 7 premiere. So again, it hits on all kinds of different things. And right now, this is the feel. They want to reinvent it every so so often. This is the feel of the show right now. Will it always stay that way? Don't think so, but in terms of costs, it might, because that makes a lot of sense for them to do it the way they've been doing it now. Also, at the same time, I think it's a happy medium. It's a Goldilocks zone type of thing, where you don't want to have it be totally focused on drama and not be about, not having any action or any zombies or anything like that, and just have it all about the locations. But at the same time, you don't want the whole thing to be action to the point where you don't care about any of the characters. Episode 11, it was a good episode for Eugene. It adds to him, it adds to Dwight, it adds to Sherry, adds a little bit more to Negan in the Sanctuary, and getting a better sense of what it's like at the Sanctuary. So it might not necessarily be a bad thing, because it gives us kind of more about those locations. We've had more time with characters like Morgan and Shane, for example, and if it was more action-oriented like the comic is, and we didn't spend so much time with certain characters like Shane or some of the others, it may not be emotionally impactful when they're killed off. Because if, like for example, the Doctor in this one, we didn't really spend that much time with the Doctor. He was there, we kind of feel sorry for him because he seems like a good guy, but we barely saw him. So when he's killed off, it's kind of shocking, but it's not that emotionally impactful. Episodes like episode 11 and kind of the more drama, based approach, where you're focusing more, developing the characters more, having some drama, backstabbing, and Dwight throwing the Doctor under the bus and Sherry getting away, and this kind of, kind of more complex storytelling. It definitely does add to the characters, and it definitely does make those things more impactful if, for example, Dwight is to be killed off at some point, or if he is to become like an A-list character at some point too. You will need episodes like that where you really tether the audience to that character. So they have to do that a bit, and I think it's about finding a happy medium. I don't think it's about 100% having it all action-oriented, so it's like Terminator or something, and you don't care if Sarah Connor gets killed, or on the other swing of things, you don't want it to all be 100% drama without any kind of payoff or war or anything. For guys like myself that really like to see, big action sequences and stuff like that, and really, enjoy that a lot. Last one will be from Justin Ross, who says, "Hey Trev, Q&A, I've been racking my brain about this, but do you think Eugene is putting on a show for Negan as far as bowing down to him to make Negan let his guard down, or even get info for the survivors? We know how intelligent he is, but we also know how much he hates seeing Lucille from how close he was to Abraham. He can be convincing at times, or could he be batting it out for the team? Or could he be batting out for Team Lucille or Lucy Egan, he says. So that's from Justin Ross, sorry. So he could go either way. I don't think at this point we can really say one way or another. He could still be with these survivors, and it just seems like he's kind of more fitted into his role as the savior right now. But we don't know, because he hasn't been given the ultimatum yet. He hasn't had to choose a side yet, because he doesn't know that Rick and the others are going to be fighting back. He thinks Rick and the others are going to be subservient, and he's just doing that as well. He's being subservient as well. I think he's smart enough to realize if he doesn't play the game, it's just going to get ugly for him. The more he fights back, the more he doesn't show his buy-in, the worse it's going to get for him. Negan's going to be more... It may have to punish him more, break him in more until he gives in. So for him, I think he understands that there's really no point at this point in in not fitting in with the saviors, not becoming like them. He kind of has to, because if he doesn't, it's just going to be really painful for him, and it won't really do anything. Maybe at best he's playing both sides, so to speak, and just kind of going with the winner, which is smart, which is kind of something you would expect him to do, because he he did lie to Negan as he lied to Abraham. So playing both sides, seeing which side's going to work out, and doing what's best for pretty much everybody right now, especially himself. So you guys can write your comments below. Whose side do you think Eugene's on at this point? And do you think we will see Rick propose to Michonne? I really like the idea, and I hope we do. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. So for this one today, I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another. It's Trev, saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.